Welcome back to another episode of the Head First podcast. Today, we are joined by a very special guest. We got Jarren Advincula from the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Obviously, as hot as this team has been all year, been trying to get a Yellow Jacket on here. So, Jarren, I appreciate you coming to spend some time with me. How are you doing on this Monday, off day?
Doing well. I mean, we just came off of a win on Sunday, and it's really all you can ask for. And obviously, we have a little off day, so nice to get a little bit of rest. But I mean, it's just fun, and I can't wait back to for Tuesday and get rolling again. So
yeah, I was hoping. Obviously, I played at Cincinnati, and so did my other buddies that helped me, but was anticipating to have you guys on here after a sweep of Xavier, kicking Xavier's ass. We don't like those guys, so we had to make their season. Since they're having such a shit season, we had to give them at least one win against you guys. We'll let them hang their hat on that, since it looks like they will be potentially missing out on the tournament here in a few weeks. But before I get into some of these questions, gotta ask, it is May 4th. I'm kind of a nerd Star Wars fan. Are you a Star Wars guy at all?
I watched pretty much every single Star Wars movie.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm an intense Star Wars fan, but definitely grew up. My mom and dad are big Star Wars people, so yeah, I had to watch all the movies.
Okay, give me your favorite movie, and maybe, if you can, your favorite character.
Dang, this is hard. Maybe probably Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Man, I'm a big Darth Vader fan.
Okay, that's respectable.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Empire Strikes Back, is that number 4 in the?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. That's probably my favorite of like the old or the original 3 that came out. So I like that pick. Honestly, just gained a little bit of my respect with that pick. So that's a good one. Next question. Yellow Jackets are getting on the bus, get on the road, you're stopping by a gas station. What's Jarren Advincula's go-to gas station starter pack?
Big barbecue corn nuts guy.
Okay.
Probably a gallon of water, and our team has been big on pocket nerds. So like these little like basically nerd candies that are like cluster.
Is that like the gummy clusters?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You guys, I was gonna say, is that your guys' name for them? Is pocket nerds? I don't know if
nerds. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys keep those in the dugout with you?
Oh yeah, 24/7. That's our thing.
Okay. So that might be the fuel. Yeah, the fuel to the lineup is the pocket nerds. That might be it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that's the first time I've heard the barbecue corn nuts. I might have to give those a shot. I've never been I'm not a huge nut person in general, so I don't know if I would be able to get into the corn nuts. But I might have to give those a whirl after this one. Next up, give me your favorite fast food. And I don't know, like, I don't count Chipotle. I think you got to have a drive-through to be considered fast food. So give me your go-to.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really eat a lot of fast food, but when I do, as of recently, it's been just a Cookout milkshake.
Let's go.
You know, I know it's bad, but I love a mint Oreo milkshake from Cookout. I mean, I try not to have it a lot, but when I do, I'll splurge on that.
That's another thing that's good to hear. Obviously, as a West Coast guy, I was anticipating maybe In-N-Out, but no, you went straight southeast Cookout. So love that. Loved it. We'll have to at some point. I'm sure you've tried it at one, but eventually we'll get you on a full tray with the milkshake. You
Okay.
can't beat that. Bang for your buck, $8.
Oh yeah.
You're getting
Yeah.
like pretty much 2 meals and a milkshake. So
Yeah.
whenever you get in a pinch financially, that could be a solid, what do you call it, cheap meal dinner. Just go all
Okay.
out at Cookout, full meal. All right, next one for you. Give me your favorite walk-up song. And I want to act like not one, it doesn't have to be the one that you've used. Just it could be anywhere you're at a game, you're playing against somebody, or one of yours, your own teammates. Favorite walk-up song you've ever heard, or one of them.
There's a lot, teammates and non-teammates, but I'm gonna shout out my roommate. I love "Moment of Clarity," Ryan Zuckerman. It's
Yeah.
by Future, and I've never heard the song until he walked out to it, and I was like, "Dang!" Like everyone's like bumping to this. Like this is good vibes, and ever since then, I've been listening to that song for a while now. So shout out to him.
There's something about a Future walk up. I know I had one at one point, even though I probably wasn't hitting well enough to have a Future walk up. But it's something about like even some that, like you said, moment like you haven't heard it before, and then it's
Yeah,
just
just
I don't
unique.
know. There's some hidden, and it's got like most of his good walk up songs I've heard. I feel like it's a mix of obviously it's rap, like firing you up a little bit, but they're mostly pretty calm for the most part.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess the way you would describe it is the kids say nowadays aura, like it's a little bit of calmness to it.
There's a lot of aura to that song. Yeah, for sure.
But because one of my favorites I'd ever heard, and obviously I feel it's like sometimes who's walking out to what, like again,
Yeah,
me walking up to Future, some guys playing against me were probably like, who the fuck is this kid? But like when I went down to Florida my senior year and played Caglione, like he walked up to me or some, which I don't think Future, like he's in it, but it's not by him. But anyway, I just thought like that song and
yeah,
obviously Jack Caglione walking in the
yeah,
box. I was like, that's very respectable and kind of makes sense. It was
yeah.
definitely pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Next one for you. Who was your favorite baseball player as a kid growing up?
This might be surprising, but Yoenis Cespedes. Um, I grew up an A's fan, and that guy was honestly one of the most entertaining baseball players. When at his prime, he was awesome to watch. I mean, there's a lot. There's him, Coco Crisp, Josh Donaldson. I mean, these guys are like A's legends to me.
Yeah.
Growing up. But yeah,
Say
Yoenis.
Cespedes is a really good pull.
Yeah,
I don't know about. I think he was on the Mets when I did this, but I believe he was the guy who went viral, like when he picked the ball up and threw the guy out from the warning track.
yeah,
I feel like that is like one of his most memorable moments.
yeah.
All right, this next one might be tough. You may not have one. Favorite college baseball team as a kid, if you had. So not necessarily like who you were a fan of, but I know myself like was not a Vandy fan or an LSU fan, but like Dansby Swanson's Vandy team or like Kramer Robertson at LSU were two teams that I kind of loved and remember growing up watching. Was there a team, an Omaha team or any team for you like that as a kid?
Honestly, for me, like middle school, high school, and I kind of hate to say it, but it was very truthful. It was Stanford. Uh,
Okay.
I was 20 minutes away from their field, and prime Stanford, like especially when I was in high school, they're making, I mean, Omaha runs, and they were just insane that year. And obviously, like those, I think the past, like, other than the past 2 years, like every year that they've been on a run, like that was, and if you committed Stanford, obviously in middle school or high school, like in my class, you were like dang, like this guy is legit.
Yeah. So how did you, obviously, if people don't know, started your career as a Cal Golden Bear.
Mhm.
So how do you flip that switch? You grow up or kind of come up pulling for Stanford,
Yeah.
root for Stanford a little bit, and then you're immediately on the other side of that rivalry. So how do you flip that switch, or how did that go over for you?
I like, even though I was cheering for Stanford, I never really had like, because I knew I was never going to get into Stanford. I mean, you have to have you to take all these honor classes, AP classes, and for me, like that wasn't in my cards.
Yeah.
That wasn't in my playing cards. But um, when I got recruited, actually, my first offer was the Cal State Fullerton, and um, that recruiting coach ended up going. I ended up committing to Fullerton. Ended up going to San Diego State, though. The recruiting coach ended up going to San Diego State. Followed him over there. Ended up going to an official visit that um, I was like, you know what, this is actually not the place for me. But I did ended up committing because I honestly didn't like trust myself like at that time, just because I was like, Division I baseball was huge. Like if you got a
Hmm.
Division I obviously offer out of high school, like that was the biggest thing, and it was obviously in SoCal too, which made it a lot easier being a California kid. Um, but my brother got overlooked. That's why he went to Division III, but now he's with the Guardians. But for us, it was like, dang, like if he got overlooked, then and I got this scholarship, then I was like, I want to commit like right away. Um,
Hmm.
but junior senior year, I knew that that wasn't going to be a place for me, and I know. Um, Even though it is a really good program, that's somewhere I didn't want to go, um, and I wanted to challenge myself in a Power 4 conference. And obviously, Cal had the best of both worlds. Right when I decommitted, they offered me, and um, I went on a tour and or on a visit, and really good education. 45 minutes away from home, in the Pac-12, and they had a history of guys going to the big leagues and getting drafted. And that year, the year that my freshman year, the year before that, they had 7 draft picks. Um, and so that was for me out of high school. That was just like almost like an easy decision right away.
Yeah. So rewinding a little bit, when you go back and you said word for word, didn't totally trust myself.
Yeah,
Talk about that a little more. Like, was that in the sense of, okay, I know this coach, regardless of moving schools, believes in me and wants me, and I'm committing to this coach?
yeah,
Or was it more on the flip side of like, obviously, as times have changed in the past 20 years, an offer that you get in April might not be there in July. So, like, was it both sides of that, or what did you mean by that comment?
yeah. So basically, the story was in COVID. Um, that's when I ended up committing, but
Okay.
I didn't really want to wait. Um, and to be honest, like I said, like I wasn't really. I always knew that I was okay at baseball, but being a sophomore in high school, and I mean, you don't get ranked. I'm not ranked high,
Hmm.
etc. It's like it's almost like a safe option, just
Yeah.
because I honestly didn't think I could go and play at a Power 5, like a Power 4 school, and Power 5, Power 4, and I think that was I was mentally a little weak, I would say back then. Um, and I always worked hard, but I never knew where that my confidence actually came from.
Hmm.
And now I know it's because the way I work and the way I go to my day to day business.
Yeah.
But as an immature freshman, sophomore in high school, like um, I had a hard time believing I was a good baseball player.
Yeah, no, and I'm interested because I feel like you mentioned about your older brother too going overlooked, and like I feel like my situation was somewhat like I committed to Elon in North Carolina my sophomore year, and it was a situation where my brother was a late bloomer, overlooked, went to a D2, ended up playing his 5th year at Coastal, never got a job or never got a shot at pro ball, but dominated at the D2 level, was kind of overlooked to where like I was coming up and maybe had a few tools earlier than he did. And I feel like even from my parents' perspective, like it was like, oh, if you're getting some of these like Division 1, like you need to seriously consider like kind
Yeah.
of jumping on that, right? So
Yeah.
I wonder too if just with your older brother, like it was within the family, it was kind of like a, hey, this is a bigger deal than you might think it is, and like we need to lock something in as what you said, kind of like a safe option too, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to go somewhere that you can get on the field and play right away. And that's where I always kind of juggle with too. It's like, yes, that was the right option in that regard, but like, could I have, and obviously I didn't end up having a good playing career in college whatsoever, but it's like, I always wonder, okay, if I would have tried to challenge myself and maybe put myself in a position where everyone in that program was dying to play professional baseball, and that was kind of the standard. Like you could always kind of wonder, I don't know, like how you mesh or how that changes your headspace as you get into college and get into college baseball.
Yeah.
But last question I got for you before we talk some Yellow Jackets baseball. This one might be tough. You're the guinea pigs. My first time doing it, an experiment.
Okay.
I got a list of 10 baseball movies, all right? And you got to blindly, you're going to keep 5 and you're going to cut 5, but you're not going to know which one's coming next, all right?
Okay.
So I'll help you out. I got my hands up. We got keep over here and cut over here.
Okay.
You got me? You following?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. First movie, Major League.
Keep.
All right. Keep in Major League. Respect that. 42.
Keep.
Okay. Field of Dreams.
I mean, there's a couple more that I think you're gonna say. I'm gonna have to cut.
No, I'm with this one's tough for me because this is one is like everyone that's older than 35 years old wants to absolutely slit your throat for cutting Field of Dreams.
my dad was probably not.
But like that wasn't on my list as a kid. Like that wasn't one that I watched or like really loved. So I respect you for cutting that. That was a tough one to cut.
Yeah.
Next one, Rookie of the Year.
Cut.
Next, The Rookie. Do you know this movie? Because I love this one, but I feel like some people don't even know it. So you're probably going to cut it.
So I'm going to have to cut.
Okay. Sandlot.
Oh, keep.
Got to.
Yeah.
All right, we're at 3-3 here.
Okay.
Bad News Bears.
Keep. I love that movie. That's a personal favorite.
All right, we got 3 movies left. You can only keep one of them.
Okay.
Benchwarmers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep. The other 2 can cut.
Okay. The last 2 you're cutting. We'll see how you feel about them. The Natural.
Okay. I haven't watched that.
Okay. I feel like that's another one similar to like Field of Dreams for me. Okay. That like if you're above 35, like you want to kill someone for cutting it, but it wasn't necessarily in my list. This last one, which is my personal favorite, you might be a little salty about it, Moneyball. Especially as an A's fan. But
yeah, why not? Oh my god!
Curious though, what because I feel like more stuff has come out about Moneyball, even in like lately, as far as maybe some of the thing like they decided to not even mention that they had like prime Barry Zito on that team. I'm curious what your thoughts are on Moneyball as a movie as an A's fan. Like, are you all for it, or are you a little upset that you feel like they kind of twisted a little bit of it?
Nah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a legendary movie. I mean, you can say this and that about it, but I mean, it's honestly one of the better movies that's been made in baseball and just in movies in general. So I mean, I don't have really that much of an opinion about it, but it's more of just like a like the way that the movie is supposed to be how it is. I mean,
Well, yeah, it's also like it's the only. I mean, not many movies have really done it at all, but like especially baseball wise, it's you're using like the real logos and real teams. Like you're actually in the MLB, right? It's not a baseball movie about some like made up I don't know if I'm making sense with what, but like
no,
a movie
that makes
about like the Oakland Athletics and not I don't know some made up team. I feel like that just adds a whole nother element to us
yeah,
baseball fans. It's like
yeah, it's
we don't
real.
get a whole lot of that in Hollywood, so like it's definitely nice that it's a real movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up our questions. Now let's talk about some Georgia Tech baseball. Obviously, played your first 2 years at Cal, played against the Yellow Jackets for 2 years. So you get in the portal, you're making your decision on where to go. What kind of stuck out to you about Georgia Tech? One in your time with the portal, but also like you were fortunate enough to play against them for 2 years. So what kind of stuck out to you and made you want to be a Yellow Jacket?
Yeah. So I think for me, right when I entered the portal, I wanted to be part of a very good where I could develop. I think where has a history of development, has a rich tradition of good baseball. Obviously, has a chance to win or compete in Omaha, and but I still wanted to be in the ACC or even SEC. Um, and Tennessee, Florida State, and Georgia Tech were ended up being my top three, um, and Oregon State top four. Um, but Ramsey, and I'm looking at this team, playing against this team, and Ramsey was telling me was like, "Hey, look, you have, you can be part of something really special. Like this might be um, one of the first years we could break some stuff, break some goals, break some records here at GT, and I think and he said with me like it could be a game changer for sure, and we want you to hit with Burris, and actually the recruiting pitch was to lead off for this team, and because I've led off my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously I get to play alongside with Vaughn, Burris, Hernandez, now Zuck, Curse. I mean, you look at our whole lineup preseason even, and it was like, holy crap! Like
Yeah.
this is a team that I want to be a part of, and I want to be surrounded by good guys like these. I've the times that I've played against them, and obviously the way we run our team, it's like they work really hard. They're always playing at 110% effort level, um, and they swing the bat.
Yeah.
And so that was something. Obviously, it was kind of like a easy decision, um, easier decision if you look at that. But obviously, when you look at Tennessee and Florida State, like you tour those campuses, and it's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like that's pretty special too.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
No, for sure. So obviously, as you mentioned, I think Oregon State was the only, I guess you could call it, West Coast team. I was kind of curious after being, obviously, you're not on the East Coast, but Atlanta, obviously, you spent pretty much your whole life in California, right?
Yeah.
So this short time spent in Atlanta, where do you see yourself ending up after once you're retired? You like in the West Coast or the East Coast better?
As much as I really do love the East Coast, there's some things that don't beat Cali, especially
Yeah.
down south. The weather, beaches. Obviously, I have a lot of family over there. But I mean, it's very different. But at the end of the day, like those are my home roots, you know.
Yeah, maybe the beach, a little bit less humidity.
Yeah,
Sunny and 75. You
yeah,
can't complain with that.
yeah.
All right. Well, you talked about it in your first year head coach, James Ramsey. Obviously, as we've looked at least the past couple years with these first year head coaches at big time schools. You had one of them and Kevin Schnall at Coastal, who did really well last year. And then you have obviously Tennessee's starting to turn it around now, but
Yeah.
rough start. And then last year, and like Michael Early at Texas A&M didn't go so well. So what do you think it is about Coach James Ramsey that's kind of allowed you guys to have so much success in his year number one as a head coach?
Oh, effort. I mean, the dude that he puts in effort into every individual on our team, like every day. If we want to, we call them PLs, like our private lessons. So it's like, hey, you want to get in the cage, work early, I'm here. Like if you want to talk about even mentally, like what process, scouting reports, you name it, like he's there. And
Yeah.
and honestly, it's as much as I love Ramsey, it also we have to give credit to those support guys too, like Coach Strickland, Schulman, Matt Taylor, Richie, like all these other guys that that are a younger coaching staff, but they're all really hungry, and the energy that they bring on a daily basis is something that you know also helps form our culture that we have right now. And but
Hmm.
it starts with Ramsey for sure, and his competitiveness on an everyday level, like I said, is like no other.
And he was like his title was the hitting coach, or I mean, maybe
Yeah,
he was but he was the hitting coach for the past few years, right?
yeah, hmm
That's what it's interesting that you talk about him like staying very involved with the hitters. Because I was just talking with Matt Bergevin, who played for Texas A&M last year, and he was kind of talking about the difference between last year and this year. Last year, Early obviously was the hitting coach before he was the head coach, and last year kind of took a step back, and then this year wanted to get way more involved with the hitters as he was, even as the head coach. So I do think it's interesting that like Ramsey from the get go never lost sight of that
yeah,
and wanted to stay involved with the hitters because obviously like he's a really good hitting coach and that's what got him a head coach job. So I think that's cool that obviously guys are learning and like if you could be involved as the hitting coach and still be the head coach, you got to think it also kind of pushes your assistants too, right? Like
yeah,
if I am the hitting coach and I see my head coach in there in his free time doing lessons with
yeah,
guys, like it kind of makes you think, all right, well, like there's no time of the day where I should not at least be able to be in the cages working with guys. So
yeah,
no, I just think it's awesome that you see people lose sight of that when they get the head coach job
yeah,
and feel like they need to keep their hands off. Obviously, Ramsey has kind of built an offensive powerhouse in that program the past few years, so it's good that he was staying involved this year. I gotta ask, do you guys? He obviously his playing career at Florida State. Do you guys ever give him any shit for being a Florida State grad?
yeah. So when we swept Florida State this year, it was actually it was like a bittersweet feeling for him, and he'll admit it to a little bit. But um, we usually not, if anything, um, like we don't really give him any crap just because, yeah, like his alma mater, like I mean, he's done what he's done at Florida State. I mean, he was one of the best players ever to come out of Florida State. Um, but we don't really give him any crap. If anything, he likes to say stuff about um, what he did at Florida State sometimes. Like he definitely has a little ego, but I think it comes just from a confidence standpoint, and honestly, that's why he was such a great baseball player himself too. Just because the way he's handled himself and the way, like I said, how competitive he is.
Yeah, I was say, and like great career at Florida State. Also had a good career in pro ball. It's like maybe a mix of confidence, but also he knows how good you hitters are, and just making sure that you guys know that you're not quite on his level yet until you get to pro ball. He's got to
Oh
let
yeah,
you guys know that for
oh yeah,
sure.
yeah,
You talked about it a little bit ago. Even looking at this lineup in the preseason, like, geez, these dudes are going to absolutely rake. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. So, how do you guys feel like you guys kind of handled, especially when you look at like Georgia Tech, been very good, but haven't knocked down that door of getting back to Omaha
yeah.
in a long time. So, how do you guys deal with that pressure and the preseason of being so highly ranked and anticipated going into this year?
Like our coaches always say, like you guys earned it, but at the end of the day, like you still got to do it. And that was, we always said, leave no doubt, you know, um, in our locker. That's like one of our main slogans this year. And, um, but I mean, you look at, like you said, like we look at every guy during the lineup, at the lineup, and it's just like, okay, like we are this good and we better believe it because if we stop believing, then that's when it can go downhill a little bit. And
Yeah.
because during the fall, like obviously it's like everyone's raking, and it's just like, wait, are we really this good? But then when the season started, and you saw the numbers that as a team, like just from week 1, week 2, week 3, and it's like, okay, like we've established ourselves, and now we just got to keep going and have a really good process.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like even on the flip side of that question, it'd be one thing if you guys had a tough start, but like I feel like coming out as hot as you guys did offensively, if anything, just kind of relieves all of that pressure for you guys as hitters because you're able to look up and down the lineup and see like, okay, I literally could go 0 for 4 and we're still going to put up 10 runs, like
Yeah,
just as good as the guys are around you. So I feel like you guys getting as hot as you guys did kind of allows you individually like to take some pressure off yourself for sure.
yeah. Um, it definitely, like as of right now, it's like, I mean, that was an expectation, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like it is it is very like, let's just say you look at our numbers, like even this past week, it's like, dang, like we actually sucked this week, like da, 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 da. But if you look at our actual numbers, like they were still really good, but it was just like we just hold ourselves to a high standard, and um, that's why we come every day like pretty hungry because we know that we can be better than what we've been doing the past couple weeks. Because we've been getting shut down a little bit. I'll admit it. In the past, probably this like month, you know. But I think it's like it's also nice that like we have those memories and highlights back in the earlier the season. It's like, okay, like no, we are this good. Like it is baseball at the end of the day, though. So
Yeah, I would say it's almost like a little bit of a blessing and a curse at this point in the year, like
yeah,
feeling like you're getting shut out when you only put up like 5 or 6 runs. Like
yeah,
5 or 6 runs is a bad game for us
yeah.
offensively.
No, seriously, it is. Yeah.
Um, let's rewind 2 weeks ago. Obviously, you guys sweep Wake Forest. In one of those games, you're down 10-0 in like the second inning. Obviously, a crazy comeback win. Is there a message in the dugout, whether it's from the coaching staff or the players in a time like that? Or is that kind of just the mentality that you guys bring to every game?
I mean, at the end of the day, we always preach never give an AB away. Like, and that's not just for ourselves, but that's just for the team too. And when we had the rain delay, because it was 10-0 in the second inning, rain delay, and or Ramsey was like, hey, like this is like a reset. Like let's see what this team is really made of. And inning by inning, it just kept getting. It was like 10-2, 10-4, 10-5, 10-6, 10-8, and then all of a sudden it's like I hit a single, and it's tie game, 11-11. So it's just like that's the fight that we have, and we know we have in our team, which is really awesome to see.
Yeah.
And it's just realistically, it was just the will of our team, and the will of just wanting to win,
Yeah.
every day. And things like that. When you have that mentality, things like that can happen in an instant. So
Yeah, I'm interested, like, because I had no idea there was a rain delay there, and I know for a fact, like, I definitely remember some rain delay games coming out on the other end of that, like being up and then coming out and just letting a whole lead slip. There's got to be something to be said, like, obviously when you're in the middle of a game, it's not like you're thinking it's over. You're still like, but what Coach Ramsey said, like getting that reset to like pause. It's like I feel like that can make so much of a difference because even in the midst of a game, like you let 3 or 6 outs like speed up on you. Like that's the third inning turns into the sixth pretty quick to then when you start counting how many outs you got left. So that's interesting. I did not know you guys had a rain delay in that to be able to kind of like hit the pause button, think about it for 30 or 45 minutes, and then go out there and attack it.
Yeah.
All right. Looking at some of your numbers personally, obviously you've had a phenomenal college career, but one thing that stuck out to me more than anything, you've had 648 college at-bats so far, only 60 strikeouts, which, especially as this game has changed a little bit, I mean, you'll look at guys in college that strike out 60, sometimes 70 times in one single season. So I'm just curious, like, is there something that goes into that? Do you have your own two-strike approach, or have you never struck out? Obviously, there's got to be something there to talk about.
I mean, for me, like, I've grown up, like, bat to ball is kind of like what I've quote-unquote done. I give a lot of credit to my dad. He threw me a 6-pitch mix growing up. So ever since I was little, I was hitting that in the back of the cage. But I think it's more of a pride thing for me. Like, and I'm an aggressive hitter, so like there will be a lot of like, obviously first pitch swinging, which could account to that. But realistically, it's for me, it's always been just like I've always grown up being like, hey, if you strike out, like, I'm pissed for the rest of the day. Like, that's the one thing in baseball I would hate to do. And even in high school, we always be like, you got to grind with 2 strikes. Even here, it's like grind with 2 strikes. And so I think for me, it was just like a pride thing. And I always take pride in that. And I'm making sure during my cage routine, I'm like, all right, 2-strike round. Like, and a lot of it too, and there's a lot of improvements I could make with 2 strikes still. Like I chase a lot still with 2 strikes, and because I get antsy feeling like I can hit everything. But at the end of the day, I just feel like I just take pride in that than a lot more people do. And and so far, that's why I feel like I have the numbers I have.
Yeah, no, you made a couple interesting points. Like, obviously, if I've gotten into coaching a little bit and then watching when guys are like, I'm striking out too much. It's like, well, part of it is kind of what you mentioned. Like, maybe you got to be a little bit more aggressive for a little bit. Like, if you're getting in too many 0-2, 1-2 counts, like that'll do it to you alone. But obviously, it's like you're an aggressive hitter, but with the numbers that you put up, it's not like you're going out there just swinging away at everything and taking bad swings. But when you talk about your 2-strike approach, everyone's different. Everyone's got a different mentality on it. Do you change anything approach or swing-wise really outside of just expanding the zone a little bit?
Honestly, not really. I'm short to the ball. If anything, I'll spread out just slightly more,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially if the guy is like bringing it.
Yeah.
But realistically, no. Like, I mean, I'm still trying to hit the ball hard. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, there's actually not a whole lot you should change with two strikes, but other than just kind of just being like, hey, like I want to win this battle against me versus you, like the pitcher, and
Yeah.
um, you're not going to win, and that's how you got
Yeah.
to go after it every AB, even if it's two strikes or 2-0. Um, it's kind of just like a really competitive, kind of just being really competitive with two strikes. It's really all it is.
Yeah, no, I love that because especially you're a guy, not that you have some huge leg kick and load, but you do have a little bit of a leg kick, and oftentimes you'll hear coaches telling kids that they need to no stride or do this when they get to two strikes, and like I've never been a huge fan of that. It's also like especially in college, like pitchers still make mistakes. And it's like
Yeah,
if if I'm a good hitter and I completely change my approach to just like going the other way and putting the ball in play, and then I'm missing out on that hung 0-2 pitch that you could still put over the wall with a decent swing. I don't know.
yeah,
It's like obviously if your strikeout numbers really suck, there's
yeah.
probably a change that needs to be made
Um,
somewhere, but
mhm.
I've never been one who loves the totally changing your swing or load or any of that with two strikes.
Yeah,
Because I feel like if it's not something that you've always done, like I'm up there now thinking about my timing and and like not thinking about hitting the ball with two strikes, which is as soon as you stop making the main goal in baseball, it's
yeah,
pretty easy to let stuff speed up on you, and
yeah,
it could get pretty tough in a hurry.
yeah. No, 100%.
All right. Well, my last question for you before we wrap this thing up. I mentioned it 20 years since the Yellow Jackets have gotten back to Omaha. Obviously, you guys have been rolling really all year. Is there any one or two things that you feel like you need to, as a team, do a better job or just keep doing at a very high level to get this team back to Omaha?
Um, I mean, not really. I think there's obviously like we shouldn't be pressing about anything. Like, um, and yeah, like losing to Xavier obviously sucks, and obviously we did have some deep talks. But it's just knowing and trusting in every guy around us that we are really good, and um, and what we've been doing a really good job about this year is kind of just like it's one pitch focus, and we are going to dominate as many pitches as we can, um, more than the other team, um, and that's why I'm really excited about this team too for the next even month, hopefully that we play month and a half, and it's just we just have a really good process, and really realistically, that's what we just got to keep doing.
Yeah. And how do you guys kind of obviously this will be your first time and for a few of the other guys, hopefully everything goes to plan and you guys are getting this top 8 national seed, hosting a regional and a super regional
Yeah,
potentially. How do you guys kind of hit that reset button towards the end of the year of like, in a sense, hey, the hard part or one of the hard parts is over. We had a phenomenal season. We're in line to host a regional or super regional.
yeah.
At the end of the day, if we don't win those, we feel like we're not living up to our expectations as a team. So how do you kind of touched on it, but how do you kind of hit that reset button and then again keep that pressure bar pretty low for the postseason?
I mean, it's pretty much the same answer. Like process over everything. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we're not trying to really focus on a result. Like obviously, it's really hard to not. But
Yeah.
I mean, personally, And as a team, like, as long as we're in the present moment and we are just focused on what is that task next, like, and we accomplish that task, and I think things will unfold for us naturally.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in that. So, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, no. Last point is like obviously the Xavier game on Friday, and it's a weird, like, you get that non-conference series right in the heat of your season in May, and I feel like that may have been a good It's like as soon as you lose sight of the ACC, or like as soon as you lose sight of that, you catch yourself losing a game to a team that you should have beat. So I feel like I was maybe kind of one of those moments that you guys could kind of nail down and get right moving forward here.
Yeah. And it's like, we're also, after that, after the loss, it's like, okay, we're not invincible. Like, even after sweeping Wake Forest, who has a very good pitching staff and a very good offense. And obviously what we've done over this season, but it's like, it was a good check for us. So pretty much grateful for that too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, man. Well, that will wrap up my time with you today. I appreciate you spending some time with me on your off day. And if you've made it this far in the show, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, whether you're on YouTube, Apple Music, or Spotify. And Jarren, I will be locked in for the Yellow Jackets here these next few weeks. And I will say my preseason Omaha 8, I had Florida State in there instead of the Yellow Jackets. I'm not looking so smart on that end right now. So I'm hoping you guys prove me wrong. And if that's the case, I will see you out in Omaha. I will be out there. Right. So, best of luck. Best of luck these next few weeks and into the postseason.
Yeah, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.